Here is my art discipline portfolio. I'm going to apologize in advance. I could not figure out how to screen record using Google Slides. So if anyone knows how to do so, please let me know, because I'm just using my phone to record my presentation so that the audio is included in here. So let's begin. So the first discipline is the dance in the arts disciplines, and I chose to use the sound off, which was our first studio project. Listed here on the right is the lyrics from the sound off. And I believe the sound off demonstrates knowledge of the arts disciplines of dance, because when performing the sound off, you must march in place while also singing the lyrics, which, if you haven't tried, it does take some coordination, and it's important to stay on the beat with the rest of the class, marching in place to get the full effect of the sound off. You must move your arms and legs at the same time, and although the dance moves are simple, they play a pretty vital role in making the sound off come to life. Without those dance moves, the marching on the beat, the sound off just isn't the same. So another dance arts discipline that I chose was the student-led dancing. So in one of our classes, if you can remember, Dr. Blum asked a few different students to come to the front and perform some dance moves that they got to choose to some music, and then the rest of the class would copy those dance moves and reciprocate them. And it was really fun. Some students used lyrical movements, some used hip-hop techniques, and those meet those arts discipline because students are able to express themselves with their own creative dance moves in front of the whole class. And students also get to learn new dance moves from the other students in the class. The next discipline is the media arts. For this one, I chose studio project number 4, which was creating a children's picture book online. And then this would really help students understand the importance of the media arts, because in your own classroom, it would highlight the importance of media arts that you don't necessarily see in other art forms. The children books would allow students to use their own imagination to write their own stories and then search the online medias to create their illustrations to match. For many students, they may not have ever worked with this media arts forms using online illustrations, so this could be a new outlet for them and would be a perfect introduction into media arts in the classroom. For the music arts discipline, I chose our song composition. I chose to select some of the lyrics from the song The Old Whiteboard, which was a rendition on Old Town Road, and the lyrics are listed here on the right side. I believe that the song composition demonstrates understanding of this music arts discipline, because while completing the song, I was able to gain a better understanding of music by figuring out how to make the words match to this already written song, and making sure that the words rhymed where they needed to rhyme. Once I completed writing the creative words, I got to perform this to the class, and everyone sang along, which was also important in completing the music arts discipline, because not only was this something I understood on my own, but the whole class got to understand it together. And I think that implementing music into curriculum is very important as well, because it allows for students to have that creative outlet while also using this tool to help them memorize important things throughout the curriculum. So theater was the other discipline that I chose. Studio project number 2, which was the snapshot tableaus. And listed here on the right are the pictures in order 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the tableaus from the book And Tango Makes 3. Throughout this snapshot tableau, I was definitely able to gain a better understanding of the theater art discipline. This activity, I definitely learned the importance of being precise and detail-oriented with your tableaus. If you weren't, it was hard for the audience to understand what you were trying to portray. So through the theater arts discipline, it is really important that you pay close attention to body movements and facial expressions to help depict the key details of the tableau to the audience. And this actual example would be a great implementation into the classrooms because it's a fun way to explain different concepts or storylines to classmates, especially for those that didn't necessarily read the same book or are learning about different concepts. It's a fun way to teach new things to other classmates. And that visual arts is the next arts discipline, and I used studio project number 3, which is the self-portrait, which was led by Bethany. And while completing this studio project, I was able to gain a better understanding of the importance of visual arts. By doing this step-by-step self-portrait, I was able to learn about the importance of shapes when creating visual arts and how each portion of this self-portrait had really important shapes that made it come to life. It's also important when doing visual art projects in your classroom that each student has their own artistic eye, and what one student seems this is their art project and this is their final masterpiece might look different than the person next to them. And that was what was cool about the self-portrait. We were all given the same directions, but everyone's turned out a little bit differently depending on your artistic eye and what you interpreted. And so I think that's a key portion to visual arts, and taking that into my future classroom is that everyone will create visual arts in their own way because of their own eye. And that is all of the disciplines that I covered. And that was my presentation. So I hope you enjoyed.